I'm a narcissist. The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so.
Okay.
There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Nobody expected the internet to explode the way it did when Rachel Zegler got cast as Eva Peron. Some folks called it bold casting, others straight up chaos. People weren't just skeptical, they were heated. The backlash wasn't just about race or looks, it was about her attitude. After the Snow White drama, folks already had opinions, and this just added fuel to the fire. Tweets flew, think pieces dropped, and people started saying out loud what many had been whispering for months. She's not the one for this.
The online world was outraged by the choice of the lead.
Rachel Zegler has been described as a walking PR disaster.
Her name is Rachel Zegler, an American actress and singer of Colombian and Polish descent.
And this was just the announcement. No performance yet, no trailer, just her name on the roll. And boom, drama lit up like match to gasoline. Rachel didn't just walk into this role clean, she brought a trail of headlines with her. Between the viral TikToks accusing her of acting above it all, and those tone-deaf red carpet moments where she said she deserved to be paid just for showing up, her name already had weight. And not always the kind you want. People had started calling her out for what they saw as diva behavior, talking down to interviewers, throwing shade at her own movies, or giving off this vibe like the world owed her something.
And then it became like, I will elbow everyone out of the way to play the part. That people will assume is a love story just because like we cast a guy in the movie, Andrew Burnap. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut, who knows? It's Hollywood, baby.
I say, if I'm gonna stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
And we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
Whether that's fair or not, it stuck, and the internet doesn't forget. So by the time she landed Evita, the narrative was already baked in. To some, this wasn't a rising star getting her due. It was a walking PR disaster being handed another golden opportunity. And when you mix Broadway egos with social media receipts, it don't take much for things to spiral. Evita was supposed to be the role that changed everything. No more fairy tale dresses or CGI castles. This was Rachel's shot to prove she had serious acting chops. Behind closed doors, people were saying her audition had that raw spark, that Star is Born kind of energy. Industry insiders whispered about standing ovations and producers being sold after one callback. This wasn't about selling tickets, it was about credibility. Going from Disney princess to Broadway legend, that don't happen every day. It was her chance to flip the script, to step into something more grounded, more powerful. But big leaps come with even bigger pressure. And when people start betting on you like that, every move you make gets magnified. From the jump, folks were already expecting a masterpiece, or a meltdown. Once the news broke, the internet went into overdrive. Rachel started dropping cryptic posts with lyrics and mirror selfies that had fans decoding them like Da Vinci's Code.
Rachel Zegler is the prime example of how you should never think that you're bigger than the project.
Producers leaned all the way in, teasing behind-the-scenes photos, talking about how this version of Evita would push boundaries. Even some Broadway blogs called her the perfect choice, and suddenly the PR machine was in fifth gear. But it was giving too much, too fast. Every little tweet got screenshotted, every vague comment got dissected. There was an energy building that wasn't just excitement, it was pressure. Like they were hyping this as the second coming of musical theater. And when hype hits that high, you either soar or fall. And the fall? It's usually loud. It didn't take long before whispers started slipping through the cracks. Word was, rehearsals weren't smooth. One source said Rachel was showing up late and throwing folks off schedule. Others claimed she kept pushing back on choreography, trying to rework scenes like she was the director. Now, ain't nobody mad at an actor wanting input, but there's a line, and folks backstage started saying she crossed it. The vibe turned real tense, real fast. Dancers were whispering in corners, assistants were side-eyeing her entrance. One insider even joked, "This ain't the Rachel Zegler show, but she sure thinks it is." Whether it was diva energy or just creative friction, people were clocking it. And that early glow, it started fading quick. According to folks inside the room, Rachel had a vision. and she wasn't budging. She reportedly told the team she wanted to reframe Evita as a modern feminist icon, stripping away the glam and turning her into a rebellion figure. Which sounds cool, until it didn't. Because while Rachel was pushing to rewrite the character's legacy, the rest of the crew wanted something closer to the classic. And that clash, it got personal. There were daily disagreements, full-on debates mid-rehearsal. People started picking sides. What started as creative differences turned into real tension. Rachel thought she was bringing something fresh. Others thought she was burning the script. Either way, the room stopped being about teamwork and started feeling like a battlefield. One quote kept coming up in backstage whispers. "You can't tell me how to play Ava. I am Ava." Whether she really said it or not, that one line turned into legend. Directors reportedly couldn't give her notes without her pushing back, and castmates said she'd talk through feedback like she was untouchable. To some, it looked like confidence. To others, straight up ego. She wasn't just playing a role, she was becoming it. But when you blur the line between actor and character like that, it can get dark real quick. Folks started asking, is this method acting, or is this something else entirely? Because at a certain point, if nobody can correct you, who's really directing the show? By now, folks in the cast were straight up done. One dancer allegedly started calling her Hurricane Zegler, because every time she showed up, drama followed. Others avoided rehearsing scenes with her altogether, waiting till the last minute to step in. You could feel the tension. Quiet, sharp, and always just under the surface. People were talking, texting, trading stories. It went from, she's a handful, to, this is getting toxic. And when a cast that tight starts drifting apart, that's a red flag. People weren't just annoyed, they were exhausted. And with every new flare-up, that line between onstage drama and backstage beef kept getting thinner. It wasn't just the cast catching smoke, crew members were feeling it heavy. Wardrobe staff said she demanded costume changes midweek, even after fittings. Lighting techs allegedly got snapped on for cues she didn't like. One rumor claimed she paused a full rehearsal to rant about shadows on her face. And these ain't newbies. These are veterans who've seen it all. But with Rachel, they said, it was like the whole show had to revolve around her. Some crews started clocking out early, others dipped to different productions. The whole energy backstage was tense. People started saying out loud what they'd only whispered before. She's making it all about her. And honestly, they weren't laughing when they said it. Some of the cast had enough. Quietly, folks started keeping records. Mental notes became written logs. A few, allegedly, even filmed parts of rehearsal to show behavior in case things blew up. It wasn't about revenge, it was about self-protection. They knew if it came down to her word versus ours, they'd need proof. The energy had shifted from uncomfortable to strategic. One chorus member said, "We started treating it like damage control." People were watching each other's backs, and watching her just as close. Whatever was coming next, they were getting ready for it. It all came crashing down during a key rehearsal of A New Argentina. Right in the middle of the number, Rachel reportedly stopped everything, tossed her mic, and stormed out. Witnesses say she shouted something like, "I'm not doing this circus anymore," and walked straight out the door. The room went dead silent, then folks started whispering. That was it. The vibe had gone from stressful to full-blown collapse. The ensemble, tired, fed up, and over it, started murmuring, "She's gotta go!" That meltdown wasn't just about one song. It was about everything that had built up for weeks. And for a lot of folks, it was the final straw. The cast didn't wait. They held their own private meeting. No producers, no assistants, just the people doing the work. They drafted letters, wrote down every moment that felt unsafe, unstable, or unprofessional. Some even included direct quotes, eyewitness accounts. These weren't rumors anymore. This was documentation. The tone? Serious. One leaked message allegedly ended with, "It's her or us." And they meant it. This wasn't about drama anymore. It was about survival. The cast had become a unit, and they were done playing nice. As soon as the complaints hit, producers scrambled. Calls flew out to PR teams, agents, even crisis mediators. The vibe in the office was full chaos. One desperate idea was floated, a dual Evita setup, where Rachel would split the role with another actress to ease the tension. But when that hit the cast, total rejection. They weren't trying to patch things up. They wanted her gone. Behind the scenes, producers were trying to save a show without admitting it was falling apart. And every move they made felt like it was too late. Then, nothing. Rachel vanished. No posts, no statements, no updates. One day she just stopped showing up. Rehearsals continued with the stand-in, scenes got reshuffled, and nobody said her name out loud. Officially, nobody called it a suspension, but unofficially, that's what it was. People backstage whispered she'd been quietly removed to avoid scandal. Others said she quit before they could fire her. Whatever happened, it was silent, but heavy. And the show, it kept moving, without her. Now the question hanging in the air is simple but brutal. What happens next? Does Rachel stage a comeback, go full rebrand, drop an apology tour? Or is this the moment her career hits the brakes? For real? Some say she's too talented to be canceled. Others say talent don't mean nothing if nobody wants to work with you. Broadway remembers. And once your own cast turns on you, can any script really save you?